Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel here today, and we are back, my friends, for another Walking Dead Season 4 prediction / discussion video here today. And this is going to be a theory I'm going to be making here, folks. We're going to be talking about Kenny possibly returning in Season 4 if you went into Wellington and left him. So I've been requested this video a lot. People had told me this won the straw poll. I've had tons of comments discussing this topic, and we're going to get into it. So before we get into it, guys, I'm going to have a little like goal here. If we hit 500 likes in this video, I will do face cam on the next Walking Dead prediction video. I know you guys have already seen my face, most of you, if you watch my live stream. If you don't, this is your chance. 500 likes and we'll do a face cam Walking Dead video. If we don't, it's okay. But like I said, I think there will be a lot of people that will be interested in this topic, so I think it's very possible we can do it. If you missed any of these videos that I've been doing, we have a whole playlist, link down below in the description. We also have a Discord channel. If you guys want to join us on our Discord channel, we do have a Walking Dead discussion page. Please join the Discord, link down below in the description. I'd definitely be interested if you guys would join it. Other than that, straw poll, link down in the description what day we do Batman. Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, we're going to be starting Batman Season 1. The Walking Dead Season 2 Scumbag will probably not be until sometime next month. Like I said, I want to spread out The Walking Dead a little more. As much as I love The Walking Dead, it's still not going to be here for a while, so we got a lot to go. A lot of time still till Season 4 releases, but like I said, again, we're not going to stop the videos. Like I said, I always plan on doing 2 or 3 a week until its release, obviously. Alright guys, again, also no straw poll for the video that you want the next video of The Walking Dead. Again, I also want more predictions. Give me some more if you have them. But those linked down in the description. Please vote for Joyner Clint. That's the one I want. But we'll see. Alright guys, hope you guys do enjoy this video. And if you're new, please make sure to subscribe if you want more Walking Dead content as we're on the road to Season 4. Alright guys, catch y'all later. Peace. Alright folks, so Kenny, in Season 3 of The Walking Dead, we remember this was a very, very sad outcome. It was a very lazy written outcome. It was made me very angry, made me very depressed, made me very just absolutely disappointed. It was a poorly written ending for Kenny. If you had decided to go with Kenny in Season 3, spoiler alert, Kenny ended up dying because of a car crash, got bitten up by walkers. He's dead. Like I said, no matter what, in that ending at least, we know for sure Kenny is dead, gonzo, no chance of return. There is no way. So like I said, this entire video is based off the theory of Kenny in Wellington, if you left him at Wellington. I've always had people comment this, Dom, if I leave Kenny at Wellington, will he return in Season 4? Or, I think he will return in Season 4. You know, I get those comments all the time. And that still, to this day, it pains my ass that Kenny, in my story, is dead. But we need to discuss this topic because, like I said again, it's brought up multiple videos, and I think it's an easy one to discuss, and I don't think, you know, everyone wants... They're good discussions. There's nothing wrong with discussion, and I love to discuss about this certain topic. So, again, let's start with Season 2. We remember what happened. There was the option when after we saved Kenny, even if, you know, like I said, no matter what happened with Jane, if you, you know, took Jane's side or just left, there's a couple possibilities here. I'm going to debunk this, I think, throwing out a couple different endings. Remember we had Season 2, all the different endings. Like I said again, you can kill Kenny, obviously not. But there's 2 different ways we could leave off Kenny and he could still be alive at the end of Season 2. Actually, there'd be 3 different ways. And one of them ends in his death. So the first way we had was, remember, there was, after we would save Kenny, we could say, Kenny, you're a madman, I don't want to go with you, and you just went off alone. That's obviously the first one. Kenny, you would leave Kenny, you see bye Kenny, and he's in the background there. And he's not dead. So that's option 1. Option 2, obviously, go with Kenny. Don't say, hey Kenny, no, let's go to Wellington, Kenny, let's go look for it. And they found it. And then we can just go to Wellington, stop there, and decide to go with Kenny out of Wellington. And we know how that ended off in, like I described, a lazy, poorly written death. That is depressing to me. And he dies there. So that option is scrapped. And option 3, which is the main topic of this video, is that where we as Clem decide to say, hey Kenny, thanks man, it's been a run, but I'm going to go do what you say, listen to your advice, go into Wellington, best of luck in your life, and adios. So Kenny lives, he's off in the background, he's got a bag of supplies, that's like, it now when you think about it, people say this is the good ending now, Dom, because after what we found out what happened to Kenny in season 3, this ends up being the best ending possibly for Kenny. Now I know there's so many Kenny fans, it's ridiculous. I get it all the time, man. I get it all the time in the comments. It's insane. But that way, Kenny lives. So we have 2 different instances of Kenny living. Now obviously, I'll discuss them both right now. The first instance is absolutely not going to happen. If we left Kenny before at the car when we're deciding, after Jane dies and all that, if we leave Kenny at the car there, I believe no chance. No chance. Telltale will not put that much little detail back into the story in season 4. They will not make that little of a choice matter. Because I know them. They will not. Despite, I like Telltale, I love them to death, but they will not do that. That's too much work to them, and I don't blame them, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So it leaves one possibility left of Kenny potentially returning in season 4, which is this Wellington ending. Obviously, if we left him, remember, he has the bag of supplies, and he's going off on his own. I believe, like I said again, it's very likely we're not going to see him in season 4. It's almost 100%. If I had to give anybody percentage of what I think the chances of Kenny being in season 4 in anything other than a flashback, I would say 95 to 98%. I'm almost going to put a 99% on it. Because you never know. There's that one little percent. But it's so very unlikely that this will happen. But obviously, it's worth discussion. It's worth discussion because it is a fact. Kenny maybe is alive if you left him here. So, leaving him at Wellington obviously means he's got the bag of supplies, he's off on his own, and it's, like I said, it's been a couple years. So we'll discuss now. Let's put a hypothetical theory here. What if Kenny's alive? So I'm not saying this is going to happen. I don't even think this is going to happen. I'll probably say 0% of this happening. But let me discuss if he lives. If somehow Telltale does a miraculous miracle and they make Kenny live and we can actually run him into season 4, where would we meet him? It'd be interesting. Obviously, he would have aged, obviously new engine and all that stuff. He would have looked different. And then, like I said again, he maybe he would have been red hot on survival for all he lost. I mean, honestly, Kenny at the end of season 2 was angry, he was broken, he was depressed. He had lost everything, and I think he has a little hidden motivation under his skin. Like I think something similar to how Lily had in season 1, episode 3. There's obviously some motivation. So maybe a possibility of surviving. He could make it, and then we can maybe run into him at Richmond or see him somewhere in the McCarroll Ranch. It'd be crazy. I mean, honestly, I would lose my mind. Now, obviously, we're going to continue the video here, but if you guys want to leave in the comments what you think the chances are of this happening. I said 98% chance Kenny not coming in season 4. Obviously, if he does come back in season 4, what would you like him to return in what fashion? Would he be like at the McCarroll Ranch? Comes in Richmond at the end. Something seems sane enough with Krista. What if it's something like that? Obviously, lots of possibilities. But obviously, leave some in the comments what you want. Now, Dom, what do you think of this? What do you think of what people have said about this? What do you think of the comments and all this? Dom, what do you think? Like I said again, I don't see it. I don't see it. Why would Telltale, despite what I said, I love Telltale, why they will not put this much detail and add Kenny back? Kenny is a major character, and I mean, it would be nice as to how horrible his ending was to see him come back. If you chose this, that would be such a nice thing. But we gotta think about it in the other category of Jane. And I don't want to talk about Jane because I don't like Jane, but we gotta talk about her because it was basically Kenny or Jane. Now, Jane, potentially you could leave her too. Same thing like I said in the beginning with Kenny, option 1, where you could leave her at the car and say, Jane, you're crazy, you lied to me, I'm leaving. That means she's alive. But guess what? She's pregnant. And in her ending, another, I'd say not as bad as Kenny's, but still pretty poorly written in my opinion, her ending. And obviously, she committed, she died. She hanged herself. I mean, that was it. That was it. That she died. There you go. The end. And then, you can basically predict in the other ending where you leave her, she's going to probably do the same because she's still pregnant with Luke. So that's a rip. Jane is not. So if Jane can't come back, why can't Kenny? If Jane can't come back, why could Kenny? It wouldn't make sense. And obviously, I know Kenny's a better character than Jane. Y'all agree with me on that. Most of you, maybe some of you are Jane fans. I'm not hating on you if you hate on Kenny, but in my opinion, Kenny's better. But you get that, and then what? You can't have. I mean, what about the people that are on the Jane spectrum? It just makes it seem unlikely. You have that, and it's just Obviously, though, like I said, poorly written death. They could, fix what they did. Because I was still kind of pissed off about that. And then with the little time we had with them in season 3, I mean, at least we got another episode 4 flashback to add a little more content. Because I mean, only one flashback, I would have just lost my mind. Like, you only get like that big of a decision, and you only make 2 minutes of it matter. Like, we only get about like a 6-minute cutscene with them. I mean, we got 2 flashbacks. Unfortunately, they died. I would have rather had a whole episode involved with the characters, and then, so with that. But this ending, if this actually does end up becoming a fact, will only be available to a small portion of players who decided to either leave Kenny at Wellington, which I don't think a big. I mean, there was maybe 20%. I don't know the exact numbers on the statistics. Someone go play the episode and tell me what they are. But there's probably not a big likely chance of that. A lot of people actually got this ending. I think, what was it? Maybe 20%. And then, with the events of season 3, I don't know if Telltale will put in the detail or the time or the effort into this, and it's mostly unlikely than the fact that he's dead in mostly any other scenario. So, I mean, I just can't see it happening. I mean, I love Kenny to death, man. I really would like to see him in another season, man, but what makes you think that Telltale will do that? I mean, it's just I can't see it. I just can't see it. Now, obviously, there's a lot of unknown characters. It's going into season 4, and they've confirmed in the AMA that characters are returning. They've also talked about Kenny's hat in the AMA and said we will see Kenny's hat. But what if with that Kenny's hat statement, they mean on a broader spectrum that we could just see Kenny? If note the word if, he was left at Wellington. I will link this down below in the description, this AMA thing. Definitely look at the Kenny hat thing. But I mean, that doesn't, it makes it more of a possibility that we could see Kenny if you kept him alive by leaving him at Wellington. Because the hat, I mean, will they have the hat involved no matter what, or will it be a determinate thing? That's up to Telltale. But like I said again, running into Kenny in season 4 would be really cool. It would make the ending matter, quote unquote, more, and make the poorly written or poorly performed ending of Kenny in season 3 make that like, wow, they actually took the time and put Kenny, skipped him on season 3 and brought him back into season 4. That would be epic. Now, obviously, they could just mean, obviously, overall for the people that died, you get to run in Kenny's hat again because the New Frontier kind of took it. But this way, if you get raided by the New Frontier, if you obviously stay in Wellington, you can have the option to take the hat. It actually shows up there. You can pick it up. And then there's obviously the option of, when, Kenny dies, the hat stays there no matter what. I mean, Kenny leaves, he gives you the hat and you have it. I mean, that's why it just seems so unlikely. But I'm rambling on here, folks. Alright, guys, please leave me in the comments what you think of the chances of Kenny's return in season 4. If you think this Wellington theory is valid or invalid. I believe it is invalid based on what I've said here. There's obviously a possibility based on other things that have been said, but it's very, very, very unlikely. I'd love to see Kenny back, man, but I just don't think it's going to happen, guys. I just don't think it's going to happen. But leave me in the comments, like I said, what you think of the chances of Kenny's survival. If he does return, what would you like to see him in, his aspect, what happens, and any other things that you guys have to say about this, because I actually like this topic. This is a very interesting topic. Alright, guys, let's go again for 500 likes if you want to see facecam next video, and I'll catch y'all later. Check the cards at the end panel. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll holler at you later. Peace.
I'm real glad to have met you.